Respect for parents. 9/23/07. I recently read a story that reminded me of the commandment to honor our parents. I know that not all of us feel kindly towards our parents. Some people have been rejected by the very people who were supposed to love and care for us. Respect does not mean being slaves to our parents. I have a friend who is berated daily by her father. She lives with him because he cannot care for himself. She works a full-time job. She cares for him. She uses her money to fix his house. She has grown very bitter. She has not dated anyone she has liked because of the demands her father have placed on her. He even teases her constantly about how she will die alone. I have tried to draw her out of her prison to do some living of her own. Her father is not bedridden, in need of constant supervision. He does not have dementia that might cause him to wander off. He cannot drive because he did not, if he did, he would kill somebody. He needs to be reminded to take his medicine. He spends his pension on gambling. Any shortfalls in the bills are covered by her. She works night shifts, so she needs to sleep during the day. He often waits until she has been asleep just about an hour or so to demand she drive him somewhere. She gets up and does his bidding. It has made her a distant, bitter woman with no friends except me. She is very depressed about her situation. She has often told me she wants to leave to have a life. Her brother never helps. She has said that she does not know why she stays, since there or away her father's inheritance will still be split 50-50 with her brother. She is an emotional slave. Frankly, this is no father. This is not the parent prototype that God was talking about. The respect of a parent is a reciprocal thing. If a parent cannot put in the effort to be a good parent, there is no commandment to respect them. This commandment is meant to be an intergenerational call to find the good in each other, to serve each other with love, respect, and compassion. There is a permanent bond that forms when you carry a child. This is often most attributed to moms, but the expectations of new life you had a hand in builds it too. There are many fathers who go through the physical symptoms similar to their pregnant mates. They care for us when we are defenseless. If they are lucky, they are cared for by us when they reach the age of old age, when they are helpless as newborn babes. It is the strengthened bond of love and respect we mutually shared that see us through in these trying times. If you have sown disrespect and hate with your parents or child, you will reap in like fashion. I do not think that personally taking care of a parent is mandatory. There are many people who are ill-suited to the challenges 24/7 caretaking. It takes a great deal out of you to fill this role. It can mean putting everything in your life on hold. I do not think that if you have a true parent-child bond of love and respect, you should make sure that they are cared for. Sometimes this means a nursing home. Visiting your parents as often as possible can ease the transition from independence to being cared for. The saddest thing I have ever seen was a little old person curled up in a chair watching everyone else get visitors. Out of compassion, you might strike up a conversation with them. They may have no one to befriend them. You might just find a new friend in them. They may not have a family left. Verifying conditions are as close to what you would do for your parents as possible, is mandatory. They are your parents, not warehouse items. Do not allow them to be treated unkindly just because you cannot care for them. For those of you that feel the need to care for a parent, care for yourself too. Take some time for yourself. It will sustain you in the long run. Do not take on the responsibility out of obligation. If you do, it will turn to resentment. Anything done without love is tainted. I have seen obligation turn into elder abuse. This is much more common than many might expect. Caring for an elderly parent can be frustrating and draining in the best of times. Without the buffer of love and respect, it can become a chance to reverse the bad feelings to the original giver. It would have been better to get someone else to care for your parent than this. Here's the story that inspired this sermon. I cried when I read it. The Wooden Bowl. A frail old man went to live with his son, daughter-in-law, and 4-year-old grandson. The old man's hands trembled, his eyesight was blurred, and his step faltered. The family ate together at the table, but the elderly grandfather's shaky hands and failing eyesight made eating difficult. Peas rolled off his spoon onto the floor. When he grasped the glass, milk spilled onto the tablecloth. The son and daughter-in-law became irritated with the mess. "We must do something about Father," said the son. "I've had enough of this spilled milk, noisy eating, and food on the floor." So the husband and wife set up a small table in the corner. There grandfather ate alone while the rest of the family enjoyed dinner. Since grandfather had broken a dish or two, his food was served in a wooden bowl. When the family glanced in grandfather's direction sometime, he had a tear in his eye as he sat alone. Still, the only words the couple had for him were sharp admonitions when he dropped a fork or spilled food. The 4-year-old watched it all in silence. One evening before supper, the father noticed his son playing with wooden scraps on the floor. He asked the child sweetly, "What are you making?" Just as sweetly the boy responded, "Oh, I'm making a little bowl for you and Mama to eat your food in when I grow up." The 4-year-old smiled and went back to work. The words so struck the parents that they were speechless. Then tears started to stream down their cheeks. Though no word was spoken, both knew what must be done. That evening the husband took grandfather's hand and gently led him back to the family table. For the remainder of his days he ate every meal with the family, and for some reason neither husband or wife seemed to care any longer. When a fork was dropped, milk was spilled, or the tablecloth soiled. May you find the strength to care for a parent if the need arises. May you have the wisdom to know you cannot honor your parents in this way if the respect and love are not there. If you can care for them, try to remember the love and respect that has grown over the years. You will be blessed if you can find the love in even the smallest caring demonstrations to their needs. God bless the whole world, no exceptions.